my friends. Oh, we got such a special guest with us. Oh my gosh, we're psyched about this. We got a big boy in the field of 80s metal thrash. Yeah. Tommy Stewart of Hallows. Tommy Stewart of Dyerwulf. And this man owns Black Doomba Records. Welcome, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much for all that.
You're very welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome, my friend.
We drink a little tea.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's not Four Roses bourbon or anything, but
I hear you. Yep.
The Bates Motel.
There you go.
Yeah. I have a whole here in the studio in the back, an isolation booth that is a functioning bathroom also, but it's padded and everything. Everything's made out to be like it's a Bates Motel theme in there. So when you walk in, there's Janet Leigh screaming in a portrait, and there's Bates Motel towels hanging up.
I hear you.
It says Bates Motel restroom this way, pointing at the door. So just a of it. Anyway, I have.
You're talking about Psycho. Which one did you like better? You like the original or the remake?
The original, first one. It's not just one of the best 10 horror movies. I think it's the best horror movie because there are a couple others that are the best ones, but this one was earlier than they are. And not only that, I think it's one of the best movies ever made, period, of any kind. It's never mind the genre or the type. It's just so perfect. When I sit and watch it, every sentence of it, every movement, every camera angle, I'm just astounded at it.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
I think the same thing for pretty close for The Shining too.
I got you.
I love The Shining.
I hear you, man. Well, actually, you know what? It's a small world. You bring that up with Psycho. Jacy, I still haven't seen the movie. I need to see that.
What?
I know, right? He was literally talking about that the other day. Small world, you bring it up.
An official watching or something.
That's all good, yeah.
We sent an MST3K style comment on, oh, there he goes again. Why doesn't she get it? There's the bird right behind the. I mean, there's foreshadowing there, even in real life. If it's not real, and I'm like, yeah, but if it was, I would see that owl and go, I just don't feel good about this.
I hear you.
But she's tired. Oh man.
I hear you, brother.
Don't do it. You're don't do it.
I got you. Yeah.
You know what's
Actually,
funny?
man, speaking of
You
horror,
get the first time. You still get the first time to see it.
I hear you.
I can't even
I hear
imagine
you, brother.
the first time. So what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good, brother. Dude, I mean, we're on that subject, man. I mean, I got to ask you, man, my favorite show of all time is Twilight Zone. Are you a fan of the original Twilight Zone?
I think I watched them so much now that when they come on, I kind of go, I'm so familiar with every one of them that they can't even show me one anymore that I don't know every movement of it. So I kind of go, I got to be in the movie. This show, New Year's Eve, that one of the channels shows it 24 hours.
Right.
Every one of them over and over. Yeah, I watch about once a year. That's about enough of that. But I do of it.
I hear you.
When we were writing, when Hallows Eve was writing Tales of Terror, Stacy at night, they were showing Twilight Zone at 11:30 at night, and Stacy and I, we were writing stuff for the first album and second album. Then we would call each other up the next day. Did you see Twilight Zone? Yeah. And it was kind of like it was like we'd both seen it for the first time ever or something. But it was in the early 80s, and we're calling each other up. Wow, did you see that? So it became like a big thing for us to springboard for us to, I've got this idea with these lyrics. They had nothing to do with the show we just saw, but it would kind of stimulate us in some way. And so that's why I worked it into the lyrics of the song Hallows Eve. And it said, your own private Twilight Zone.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Wow. Look at that.
You and I were talking about it every day. just sort of a personal reference.
Oh man, that's cool as crap. I mean, that's why I love this kind of stuff, man.
In the song Rock Gut on Monument, I wrote it says, the song Rock Gut, it says, public school, Kenwood Full. Now, if you're from here, you know what Kenwood is. That's where Stacy went to school.
Ah.
So he was the one, I was going to write my high school in, but I wrote his in because he was the one who was going to sing it. So I thought it would kind of be personalized if he was saying his own life.
I hear you. Sweet.
A lot of the lyrics in the old Hallows Eve songs are, well, even now, there's a lot of my personal life or my opinions or my personal life or actual events that happened to me. And sort of that's kind of what I'm writing about most of the time is what went on that day. I'm not so directly, I leave it open enough where other people can get their own associations out of it.
Right.
It's my ideas are kind of fragmented sometimes, or even kind of said in a jumble. That's just how I think. I even wrote a song on this new album about fragmented thinking that I do. So
I hear you.
You see much about titles or anything yet. We're not ready for that yet, but
I got you.
See, it's this kind of stuff right here. These are the little nuggets that we dip in our buffalo sauce and consume right here.
Honey mustard, dipping them chicken down. I love it. Good stuff.
Master stuff that just came out. Metal Blade just did a re-release of Tales of Terror.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, buddy.
There's CDs. There's 5 variants of vinyl. And you can get them at Metal Blade's site. If you want the some of the cooler variants, I think you have to go to the Metal Blade Europe site.
Ooh,
Go to the one here. That's where the CD and it says Metalworks. It's leaded or whatever, and it's great. I got to say what the names of all of them were. I worked with them on it. They were really nice to bring me in, and we got to add some bonus tracks.
Ooh.
And they came from all my little old cassettes and everything. I've got a million of them around here. I've got a pile I'm working on right now for possible something more than Tales of Terror. I got a pile of junk right here. I'm having got their yard stuff.
Oh yeah.
Audio from stuff like that.
Sweet.
On the the Hallows Eve remaster, you get some extra photos, and you get wow. I haven't even looked at it myself. I haven't even looked at the CD right here.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the bonus tracks are. This is just stuff. This is from 1984, the year before we even came out. These are from those rehearsal tapes. Is where I pulled all this from, and a couple of them are covers. So we did "Scream in the Night" by Exciter.
Nice.
Rehearsal in June '84 of The Mansion, and we actually did The Mansion way back before Hallows Eve. It was actually we started out as Warrior, not the LA Warrior, the cool one. Us. We were Warrior with a couple of other guys, and some of the songs we decided to change a couple of guys and change the name at the same time and kept some of the songs. So Hallows Eve was a transmogrified Warrior. Warrior started in 1979.
Wow.
So we were doing the Mansion, and we had toyed around with what became their own rules and everything. This was like 81 and 82 and stuff. So some of this stuff, the Mansion, we'd already been playing it a couple of years. We did 18 by Alice Cooper.
Oh yeah.
On here is also Hallows Eve, including Routine. I bet you it's the second or third time we ever got through it.
Wow.
They're not well. It's from cassette tapes, and I clearly remember recording some of this stuff. What we had is we had a reel-to-reel in the room for 2 of the songs, and another one of the songs was simply a cassette player. I remember there being 2 mics up in the room, one on each side, so it is just dead on live. There's no these were some of the tapes. They were clear enough to mess with and get them out there. So yeah, a long time ago.
Heck yeah. I love that stuff.
And that's available on Metal Wings website?
Metal Blade.
Metal Blade, excuse me. Metal Blade.
Yeah, it's got a page book that comes in it with look at here. I sent him some photos. You know, I did okay all these proofs and everything, but I haven't actually even looked at it. So there's a picture of me way back in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. dig it. Heck yeah.
That's 86, I believe. Oh, the darker ones, like this, that is actually from our first show ever.
What?
Oh, cool.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's a. Oh, and also I had something special they could add in this too. I actually had the original, my original handwritten lyrics for the song Hallows, including a routine.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Last thing I added, I said, "Do you think anybody would be interested in this?" You know, you're humble about yourself. You're like, because I like, you know, it was meant to me. I have a few things down here too, old pieces and all. So in the book, you get the handwritten lyrics by me.
Oh yeah, nice, dude. Heck yeah, love it. Love it.
So does this booklet come with the vinyls too, or just the CDs?
No, just the CDs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's from the first show. It was darker.
Nice. Love it.
It was an interesting thing about the first show. The story on it is, here's what's weird. Here's what we did that nobody. I still have yet to meet a band that's done this. Our first show ever, although we'd been around for a while, we'd played a lot as Warrior, but our first show ever as Hallows Eve was the same day as the release of our first album. We'd never played a show as Hallows Eve. We made got together, called it Hallows Eve, wrote the songs, rehearsed them, recorded, got signed, put it out, and July the 12th, 1985 was the day the album was released. The first day it was ever on the shelves. People brought it to the show to show us. We hadn't even seen it.
What?
And the day we ever played too. The very next show, that was in Atlanta, where our hometown is. Show we were playing with Slayer in Montreal, Canada, and the third show we were in New York and playing, hundreds of people. It was Nasty Savage, Hallows Eve, and Slayer. So we went straight into touring. We just went straight into it. There wasn't we get the whole like local thing. We just
Yes.
And it was quite literal, And like I know in David Stewart's case, it was those were his first shows ever. He was still just out of high school, and all of a sudden he's in Montreal playing on a bill with Exodus, Metal Church, Slayer, and we're in front of 2,000 people.
Wow.
This is the second or third time on stage ever.
Wow.
Wow.
19.
Man, dude, that's so cool. I love Exodus. Man, that's so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, this was early everybody.
Yeah.
Slayer was about to come out or had just come out with Hell Awaits, but Haunting the Chapel and that had been out just recently then.
Right.
And they might have had, I think that was the beginning of the Hell Awaits stuff, because I know by the time we were playing with in New York, Hell Awaits was out because they opened with it, the song.
I got you.
I remember it was out. So basically all the shows we did with them, they were still in Metal Blade or leaving Metal Blade right then. So all the shows we did with them at that time were the Hell Awaits stuff.
Wow, man. Yeah.
So yeah, their whole show was pretty much Show No Mercy, Haunting the Chapel, Hell Awaits. So every night I'm standing there, and I even got one photo right behind Dave Lombardo. He's right in the audience, and I'm standing like not 5 feet from him, behind him. I got to find that picture, man. That was a cool shot.
Dude, that's so cool, man. I mean, he's literally, if not my favorite, he's way up there in my favorites, drumming. Yeah.
It was really cool to see him play back then. And we knew that metal, there wasn't, metal was new, and we didn't really know that. We could tell there weren't a lot of bands back then like there are now. There was like, a few here and a 3 or 4 out of New York and a couple in Tampa, and there wasn't really we all were aware of each other. You kind of didn't know who was the ones that were gonna. You could tell though who was climbing because it was the ones who were working hard.
Right. Yep.
And every time we played somewhere, they were on the bill too. And I was like, they want it.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, I remember seeing an old school 80s flyer with Hallows Eve and Megadeth. Please tell us about that if you remember, man.
Oh, yeah, that happened a couple of times. That was in clubs.
Wow.
Oh, it was awesome.
Wow.
The time here in the Metroplex that we played with them, I actually was the promoter, so I rented the venue and got the band had us open, and it was during the Peace Sells stuff.
Oh yes, yep. Heck yeah!
Wow. Everybody, I know everybody here. You know, my friends here in Atlanta remember that night in particular. There was another one in North Carolina, and there were some other shows.
Wow.
We were all played in clubs together back then, except the festivals. Like, say, we went and played the first Milwaukee Metal Festival, and on the bill with it, we were like fifth or fourth from the end of it out of like 15 bands. The headliner was King Diamond. Somewhere just before us was playing on the bill was Death.
Wow.
And earlier than that in the bill, like fifth or sixth in the afternoon, was Destruction.
Wow.
Etro played. Trouble was next to last. But anyway, it was quite a bill. That was the first Milwaukee Metal Fest, and it wasn't a flood of people like today. That would just be an ungodly amount of people. But I would say it was probably about 600 or 500 or 600.
Man, yeah, that's awesome. That is super cool.
Whatever, 1986 or 7.
Wow, love it.
Yeah, we knew something was going on. This wasn't just a bunch of bands. I was like, there's a movement. There's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we love to hear about the early days of metal here, we just love these stories.
Yep.
And how we like hearing about how it developed, and all of that.
Right, exactly. We love this. We love you talking about all the little details and that no one would know about, that's amazing,
Well, for us, from our viewpoint, all that was fun. Most of our day was spent in campgrounds and.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Running to stores and eating and coming out real fast and stuff like that.
I got you. I hear you, brother.
Not go and steal.
I hear you. I hear you.
Not saying go steal is how you should save money on your band tours.
I love it. I hear you, man.
Now the way we do now, I have Tommy Stewart's Dyerwulf.
Mm-hmm.
I've made my business. I've made Black Doomba Records, and the center of what I do, I have Tommy Stewart's Dyerwulf, my little. It wasn't meant to be a solo project, but it became a solo project. And then there's the things that come off at my Blue Ogre studio, where I record people, and so I have different streams of small income. None of this would make me a living. The label, probably least of all, but all this stuff. But what I've learned how to do is handle the money a little better. And so, for instance, our food when I go on tour is now it's a business. So, and it all falls under Black Doomba. So I've learned to deduct those things. I'm just saying this stuff for bands who don't know about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deduct and people go, hotels, we don't stay in hotels. I go, you can deduct them on your taxes. Hotels, your tolls, your food, even the clothes you wear on stage. You can deduct either gas or mileage. I do mileage rather than gas. It works better for you in the percentage. All those things, if you're a band, if you call yourself a business, and you can call it a group business, or in my case, it's a sole proprietorship. But if you do that, you can deduct all those things. You don't have to be. I don't know how it costs so much to tour, and I'm like, well, you got to pay for it now, but it comes out of your taxes.
I hear you. Wow, sweet.
I didn't even think of that.
I hear you. Yeah.
Learn to do it as a business. This whole romantic vision of this is something I harp on all the time. This whole romantic vision of the poor musician and all that. It's like that's just well, get out and work and learn. There's different things you can do as a musician. Everybody says, well, I can't make any money. Our band doesn't get paid enough. I go, but that's all you're doing. I go, you can be teaching it. You could be coaching people.
Right.
You could be a PR company. If you're in touch with lots of magazines and radio, why don't you ask other bands if they would possibly pay you something for you to handle their upcoming release for 3 months for a certain amount of money?
I hear you.
Or there's lots of ways. There's lots of people are making lots of money in music that you're not grabbing it. It's just that you're just not doing. You're just not. It's there. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. Somebody's making a living. It could.
Yeah.
I'm not getting rich doing all this, but yeah, I'm making a living and I don't have a day job. And this is what I do 24/7. So I'm fine. It works for me. I'm just
Yeah. I love it. I love to hear that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly, man. And you're right. You're exactly right. Yeah. There's always something to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of our goals right there, is just get to where this could be our day job, you know, to do music or something related to it.
Right.
So many ways to monetize. You have special skills. People who are in the music industry all have skills that I think if they want to call it a hobby, then there's nothing wrong with that. And they should approach it that way and just say, okay, it's just my hobby. I do have a good day job and I just want to do this somewhat. But if the musicians or people who are enthusiasts who want to make a living at it, they can. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it has to do with having lots of irons in the fire, rather than saying, I do this one thing and it doesn't make me enough and I do this one thing. Well, It's kind of like I've always said, like with your day jobs, and the way I used to be is like, if I was getting behind bills, people would say, you know, like, I don't make enough money. And I'd say, go get more money.
Exactly. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
Just find something after you get off work, or I just sign up and say, okay, I work here 3 days a week. And I'm gonna take that money and set it aside for 6 months, and then I'm gonna quit. And then I'll be off. Or invest it. Or better yet, invest it.
Yep. You're exactly right, my friend. Oh, you're a smart man. Yeah, exactly.
You'll probably be glad you did that. Just don't touch it for 10 years, and then you can start your business.
I hear you.
Think ahead.
Yeah.
Come on here and talk all about that, but I do tend to talk about that kind of stuff because I want to help musicians. That's one reason I started a label. I want to help bands. I figured I've got all this experience. I kind of know what to do. And if I go through here and every time there's challenges that I don't know how to do something or I'm making mistakes, I just say, okay, I'm gonna plow through this. I'm gonna learn how to do it. I'm gonna take a workshop, or I'm gonna watch the videos. I'm gonna work on it, and I'm gonna learn how to do it. And now I know how to do it, so I can do it for someone else, and I can help. So I can take this band that's got everything that you need, but there's this certain level, and if they're too down, I really can't do anything about them because they're not ready yet.
Right.
But if they're too far up, they really should go and pass me. And I would recommend, well, you need to go over to so-and-so label. I appreciate it, but I'm the, like, I can take you from here to here guy, not I can take you from here to here guy.
He's humble. This man is so humble right here. This man, Tommy Stewart, so humble right here.
I can take you out. I can promo you. I can help you get some stuff. I can get your EPK together. I can get an album out. And I can probably take you to a better place than you were. But that's what I hope. I hope they have when I do the pre-sale for 3 months and they come and they have a release, I hope they have a great experience. I check in with them, you know, are you enjoying this? They go, wow, we've never had all these reviews before. And I'm like, yeah, isn't that fun? And I go, hell yeah. And when the albums come out, I send them like a few and I say, would you sign like 5 of these and send them back to me? And they go, what for? And I go, because people are going to ask me for your autographs in the orders. They go, really? And I'm like, yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Wow.
There's 2 things. Not as many people are paying attention to you as you think they are. But on the other hand, you have fans. You just don't know they're out there. And that's kind of sad for bands that think nobody's listening to them. And I go, oh, there's somebody somewhere that thinks you're the day and night.
Right.
They think you're great.
Right.
They've got to move your band and everything. Yeah, maybe. And I do.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, what do we got? Oh, look at that. I hear you.
There he is.
Yep. I hear you.
So yeah, you know, and we do have a guy his name's Alex. I don't want to embarrass him, but anyway, he's in Colorado, and he's got a tattoo of Tales of Terror on there. I was so I was speechless. I didn't know.
I hear you. That's a big honor, man, right there. Yeah.
You get some compliments that are really, they are humbling. That you've meant so much to me. You were a heavy part of the soundtrack of my high school years and things like that. And I go, that's what I say about the people I grew up with.
Yeah.
Wow.
I say certain people I'm fans of. You're every time this happens to me, I think of that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, man. I mean, it's yeah. Oh, exactly, man. I mean, like you say that. Right here, Jacy's got my EP shirt on, and got like what you were just saying. It's nuts to think about that. What you just said in Philippines, man. I became good friends with her, but man, her name's Nick, but she's like the biggest fan of mine. And like, what? It's mind blowing, man. What?
Audience out there for you, and that's part of what bands need to find. Is it's not that it's not that you're not good. It's just you have to find your audience. Who do you think listens to you? And in Tommy Stewart's Dyerwulf case, which is a two-piece doom thing, somewhat atmospheric. We have all different kinds of people, but mainly it's sort of this at the outermost. It's sort of like a 25 to 55 year old, 35 to 55 year old. Well, I'll tell you what, when we play, we look out and it looks like a sea of wizards. It's a bunch of bearded dudes. There's like 3 women there.
I hear you.
Y'all are what you are. I'll take anybody in the audience. I'm happy that anybody comes, but I mean, that's just who listens to us.
Yep.
Sounds like our audience demographic.
Yep.
Males 25 to 50.
Right, yeah.
100%.
Exactly, man. Yeah. I mean, Nick, yeah, she's a sweetheart, but yeah, she's like, that's so different and so unique.
Okay, plus her.
Exactly. Yeah, she's awesome. She's a sweetheart.
Like the only girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
So, Mr. Tommy.
They don't thrash at doom shows. They just kind of.
I hear you. So, dude, all right. So, I am a enormous 80s thrash guy. Everyone that knows me knows that. Dude, please tell us all about in the 80s, man, with the tours. Where'd you guys go, Hallows Eve,
We went all over the U.S. a lot. Like I said, we'd take a motel room like once a week maybe, but our showers and truck stops. We mainly stayed in campgrounds, and that was part of the fun of it. Was we were going to places. We were really poor dudes, and but we stayed out on tour enough to where at a couple of points I just simply put all my stuff in a storage. I didn't even keep an apartment. I just put all my stuff in storage, and I would buy like I'm dead serious. I'd buy like a $200 car from somebody that may not even have a license plate on it. I'd park it in like an apartment complex somewhere. Just kind of when I got back, I figured if I got back and I went 10 places in it and abandoned it, I actually got my money out of it.
Honestly, we love this stuff, man.
I'd back and just kind of hope the car's there. If it wasn't, I'd go, I'll get another one, I guess.
I hear you, man. Yeah, you got your money's worth, yeah. Sweet. Like what states did you go to, man? All around?
It's funny. We went, Halsey's been in every state except Washington State and Oregon. It makes sense because we're in Georgia.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. We went to Canada a little bit too. We went to Montreal. We played in Hull, Quebec, Toronto. We played, that part of everything. So we never made it over to the Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, and all that kind of the up northwest. We just never made it up. Wait a minute, I don't think we even made it into Montana either. All right,
I got you. Man, that's so cool, man. That is so cool.
Did you guys ever get to go to Europe?
And we did later, but the original lineup in the 80s, we never made it to Europe. and we were really bummed about it because it seemed like all the bands were always going to Europe. Even bands we knew we were actually selling more than them. They're on the same label. I'm like, how in the heck are these guys? And then we'd find out that we were actually a little older than everybody, and we lived on our own. And that a lot of these guys were so young; they were still living at their parents' house and stuff. I was like, well, I guess I could go on trips to Europe too if I still lived at my mom's house.
Yeah, I hear you.
They don't tell you that kind of stuff. They don't want to tell you.
Mm-hmm. Man, tell us about the show with Testament, my friend. I love Testament.
I think some of their parents have. I don't have any. We did play with them a couple of times. We played with them. Well, I remember one show in particular that was with Hallows that was with Testament and Overkill in. It was in Wilmington, Delaware, at a place called Pulsations, which normally did not have metal bands. They said it was weird because the place had like these mushrooms. Where you go, it was more like a dance club. It had like these mushrooms.
What?
They had, what was that? I don't know. They had like I think the band, the singing group Expose played there the week before us or whatever. It was the kind of place Destiny's Child would have been at. Not it was play there because it was so unusual.
That's different. Yep. I hear you, man.
It was a great show.
Heck yeah. Yeah, those are, oh man, that would be, yeah.
That place is the one where I went out back. Okay, I went out the back door, and this place was really something about, here's what it is. We had this thing, back then people did sound checks. This thing in our little contract, we didn't have a big contract, but one thing we were stupid about, this sounds like ridiculous now, but back then it was not that crazy. Pretty much everybody did it. So we had a thing in our contract saying that we had to have a sound check of a certain amount of time. And even if we were opening, it said we were going to have a sound check. The other band basically had to agree, or the promoter, we'd start yelling about it. And I'd say, well, you initialed this that you saw and that you agreed that you would arrange where we got a sound check. It didn't matter if we were opening for, Led Zeppelin. We get 20 minutes. So anyway, but they're not allowed to open the doors till we've had a sound check.
Oh.
So, because we wanted to do it, because a lot of times they'd open the doors and there we were standing there doing sound check. And back then, bands just didn't do that. So that's why I'm explaining. This wasn't crazy on us. It was common. So I went out the back door and I said, I'm going to go brush my teeth. I'm waiting for them to say, okay, start sound check. It's just in a few minutes. I'm going to go brush my teeth, grab my water out of the... So I walk out back, door shuts behind me, and I went, oh, man. So I'm back there by myself behind the building. I'm like, oh, man, it's a real big place. Mm-hmm. I walk around front, and there's all of these people out there waiting to get in. Excuse me, and nobody knows who I am. It's the bass, the band. Nobody knows who. They don't know your face, So I was, and I've got my toothbrush too, by the way.
Toothbrush.
The front door, and there's a big old dude on the other side of the door. It's all quiet in there, and I'm tapping on the door, going, "Hey!" And I'm through the little crack. He turned around and he goes, "Can't come in yet." And I went, No, you really need to let me in because they can't come in until I'm in the band doing the sound check, and they're actually waiting on me to get in there. He said, No, you can't come in yet. Band sound checking. And I said, no, they're not.
Classic.
So I'm standing there, and I said, whatever. They'll figure it out after a while. So I just stood there, and people were talking around. And all of a sudden, this is so funny. This is why I remember it. This guy was standing there and said, yeah, Hallows Eve kicks ass. And he goes, the bass player's real good. And he goes, yeah, I taught him everything he knows. There, Dad straight up said, I taught him everything he knows. I'm standing right there, and I was like, wow. I just got into it. I just left it because I was like, well, nobody cares. And so I just finally, he said, dude, in the band. He goes, oh, okay. And for whatever reason, he suddenly realized he let me in, and I went, okay, thanks a lot, man. I got to get in there. And I ran in there.
Right.
After the show, I'm standing around outside, which I did a lot. I did a lot of heavy metal parking lot. And after the shows, I'd go out there and say hey to people and all. Same guy comes up with his friends. He goes, "Oh, dude, you're an asshole, man. You knew I said that." Da, 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 da. All, you know, after the show, everybody knows what you look like.
Wow. I hear you.
I was like, I wasn't trying to make you feel bad or nothing. I just didn't want to say anything. You know, I was trying not to make you feel bad.
I hear you. God.
See, I don't know how I would react to that.
Yeah, that's.
I taught him everything he knows, and then you go in there, and there's the dude on stage, and you paid to see this guy. And then after he comes up and goes, I didn't say anything. I was just standing there. He came over to me and said all that. I wasn't going to say anything about it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny all the little things you remember on tour, the little things about meeting people. And that's what I mean. A lot of the things I remember were about people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Makes somebody, I mean, we didn't have Facebook and net, you know, Interflix. Listen, the Interflix, the Netbook.
Netflix.
We didn't have it. We didn't have the internet. So you didn't have, when you met people, the next time you saw them was the next time you came there. So, but you still made a lot of friends along the way. And sometimes we stayed at people's houses. They were cool. We had like a network of houses we'd stay at. So right before we'd leave, and we'd have like 5 shows coming up, and I'd call up people and say, "So your mom's out of town? We're coming next weekend. Is she out of town this time?" "Nah, she's here." And I go, "Oh, okay."
I got
And it got to be a thing. It was a thing too, because like you knew you had to get sleep and all that, because we're really going to get up and go at 8 in the morning to get to the next place by that night.
right.
So staying up all night partying with people wasn't really a good idea. But everybody's house we'd stay at, if we stayed in like several people, like say every day, like 3 or 4 days in a row, they're having a party because we're there every day in a row. So we were by day 4 of that.
Yeah, I got you.
Most of our sleeping would happen in the van or the RV when we got big enough to have an RV.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You know what, man? Hallows Eve is truly, truly unique because you guys were the first thrash metal band in Georgia.
We were absolutely dead straight.
Yep.
Way before anybody else. There started being, I can name, there were probably, we talk about it all the time amongst my metal friends here that are old enough to remember or who were in those bands. There were probably there were none at first. And in fact, when we were Warrior, we used to bill ourselves as Atlanta's only heavy metal band, and nobody disputed it. Nobody thought we were being silly. We were.
Wow. It's so cool to have that. That's so cool, man.
Yeah, that says we hardly got to play, really. We had to play at like swimming pool parties and jump because there weren't any heavy metal clubs or nothing. There was nothing like that until about 84, 85. There started being one place we could play, the Metroplex. All the punk people were playing at 688 pretty much, and the metal shows were mostly at Metroplex.
Nice. Now, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, my friend, I want to say you guys played with Metallica at one point.
We didn't play with Metallica, but we played with the other of the big 4. I'll look back at my records on that. Somebody mentioned it the other day, and I kind of didn't know what to say. I don't remember doing that. And then I looked it up, and I was like, no, they're not on. I looked way back, and I was like, no, we did plenty of Anthrax, Megadeth, and Slayer shows, but no Metallica. So we kept missing that.
Yeah. That's so cool, man. That's so cool.
We had a show with just about everybody you ever heard of that was around back then, because we toured a lot. Basically from 85 to 88. From July of 85, well, yeah, we were gone 2 weeks later. So, yeah, from August 85 to October 88, we were gone all the time to the point of couldn't keep a job. I was let go. I asked for a leave of absence. I came back, and then I had to go again. Everything. I'd been this one place for like 6 years, and they said, "Yeah, you can't. We got to make a choice." So by April Yeah, so like by the next spring, I just simply gave up day jobs for a while. It was just Hallows Eve. I would come home and do a little bit of like I'd sign up for temporary places real quick. I'd have like 2 weeks before we left again. And immediately I'd sign up I go to like 5 temporary places, go in and work somewhere for like 2.5 hours or a day or 3 days or something like that. I did everything. You just can't imagine. People say, what kind of day jobs you had? I go, all of it.
Everything, yeah. Yeah. I like it.
That's a good idea. It really is.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
I'd go to work 4 hours at one place, and then the other place would call me and say, hey, can you come in tomorrow? And then whatever. And I'd work and right up to, and then I'd say, I'm going out of town. I'd arrange to have them mail me my checks to my P.O. box where all the Hallows Eve stuff came in. That's where I'd get my pay from those jobs.
Oh, wow. See, this is the stuff we do. I love this stuff.
Yeah, we love this behind the scenes stuff.
Exactly. I love it.
I don't know how many people do that, but I did all kind of crazy jobs. I couldn't say I knew how to do stuff just to have the job, and I'd be fired by like noon.
Get out.
Printing press mechanic. Didn't know a thing. I didn't know anything. I just stood there and pretended like I knew how I was doing after that guy came up after about 4 hours, and he'd come by about every hour and say, how's it going? Well, have you fixed the defibrillator or whatever? And I'm like, oh, I'm working on it. And then after
It's my job for 10 years. So.
he goes,
well, you know yourself.
he goes, you don't know what you're doing, do you? And I went, no, I don't.
No, I know.
So I called up. I went over. I didn't even talk to him. I just went over to the payphone. I called the Texas place and said, I'm going to leave. He said, don't do it. And I said, I don't know. They've got me doing a job I don't know how to do. And I said, they figured it out, so I'm leaving.
Classic.
You'd think you'd get in trouble or something. No, they just sent me somewhere else the next day to do to take inventory at the Toyota parts house. That I could do because I'd been in receiving and shipping all along. So I knew all about riding around a forklift and counting stuff.
Right.
You know what's funny? All these things, like when I was young, my family traveled a lot by car all over the U.S., just like in vacation, but more often. And the movie. And so we traveled all the time. I learned to drive a little early. I love driving. I'd go out and had lots of jobs driving, one thing or the other. And I did a lot of inventory. I did a lot of shipping and receiving. I learned I had to route the trucks and whatever. But, as all this stuff went on, now I'm doing a label. And guess what I do? Pack stuff up properly, take inventory constantly, route trucks when I have big enough stuff to call. I've got a couple of pallets out back. But I'm doing it was like I was just trained to do what I'm doing. Even the riding all over the U.S., like we'd go somewhere before there was GPS and everything. And I already knew how to go to New York. Go 85 and somewhere around Petersburg, you switch over to 95. And if you want to go that way. And I already knew how to do that.
Yes.
We'd just start going. I knew we'd go be on 10 and going towards Texas. And I would say, oh, look, here's these bridges where you better not go over because it's all black water down there. And,
wow.
And they were like, how do you know when I go? I've been here before. I've done all this.
Sweet.
So it's kind of like I was trained to do it. And for music, same way. I started playing, my mom had me start playing, not that I'm good at piano, but my mom had me start playing piano when I was about 4. So my first time to actually perform in front of people, I was about 5 years old. Wow. There's a lot of musicians with this story. And then, that was in a church Christmas thing for a kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And I got to play Silent Night with while they sang. And then later I did, then I would do a lot of piano stuff. I did some child acting for about 3 years. So one way or the other, I'm performing all the time. Perform.
Right.
Stuff and perform it. And then later I'm doing, and I'm in school band. I'm in clarinet, bass clarinet. I know. Why wasn't I doing something cooler than clarinet? But I don't know. It matched piano it was the same. That's kind of why I picked it. So stopped taking piano when I was about 14, but I kept on doing music. By the time I was 15, I got on stage. The first time I was on stage with a bass, I was 15. It was in Acapulco, Mexico, at a bar called the Paradise Club, or Club Paradiso. And it was across the street from the Hilton in Acapulco. And I just asked the guys if I could get up and play the guy's bass. And I was underage drinking because I'm in Mexico, and you can.
I got you. All right.
Let me get up there and play your. I'm that idiot. Your bass. I think I went, yeah, sure, why not? So I got up there playing like Smoke on the Water and stuff, and I got there. I knew enough about music to fool around on it. And I got off. They said, we thought you were going to be bad, but they said you were. But he said you were okay. And I said that was the first time I ever picked up a bass in my life. I just kind of. Probably sounded like hard. I probably sounded terrible, but I was encouraged.
Yeah.
And that's it. Guitar stuff and same acoustic guitar on top of Old Smoky type. One of those little classes, and I quit going to that. I heard Joan Jett talking about that in her interviews, and I was like, I did the same thing. I was about 15 or 16. And after a few lessons, I went, this isn't what I want to do.
Right.
A real guitar. And then I switched to bass when I was about 20 before I switched to bass from playing guitar and singing. Switched to bass. And then Hallows Eve, that's what happened when we got towards the end of the Warrior Times, we decided to get this guy named Stacy that I'd heard about, and got him, and I got him to take my place. So I backed off and quit singing and just played bass, which was opened up a whole different world. I was like, oh, now I can really pay attention. And it's not just something to do while I'm singing. Now I'm actually doing this.
Right. Yeah.
Known as the guy who overplayed.
I hear you.
Who doesn't play right. You need to play in the pocket. And I go, in other words, you don't want me to play. Heard. I go, I'm going to play in the pocket guy. I'm a play loud guy, and y'all try to keep up.
You're trying to keep up. I hear you.
I was pretty out there. I made sure my bass was out there.
Crank it up.
Make sure you were heard.
And David Stewart at Hallows Eve was really good. He had been taking classical training, and he was really, really good. So it was good that I was playing with him because he was so much better than me, even, basic guitar, that a lot of the songs that we put together, for instance, Goblin of Gore or Painkiller, I think, I know Goblin of Gore, he did the music, and I remember he and I had to sit down. We'd go to practice, and we'd fumble, and anything we were fumbling through, he'd stop, whoa, let's all right, you're going to do this, we analyzed it, took it apart to the nth degree, and sometimes he'd sit down with me for hours and go, no, like this, build it up, and he goes, when you're doing that, and he'd reach over and hold my finger and go, do like this, then put that one there, and he'd go, all right, let's do it real slow, and he'd go, ba-da-da-da, and I go, and he'd go, there you go, and that's how we got fast, is we just constantly worked everything up to see how fast we could get it. Even the whole band of practice. It's another thing we used to do.
What?
Getting to be good before anybody ever saw us. We used to turn all the lights out and see if we could still play it.
Oh, I got you.
You're looking at your fingers while you're playing till you turn the lights off. You're thinking, well, I don't really look at them. Everybody'd say that. And I go, turn them off and let's see what happens. Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll make you giggle and all that, and all the mistakes everybody makes, and you'll hear the drummer back there going, well, I'm hitting most of the cymbal.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, just hearing that right there, certain riffs of mine I would not be able to. But
yeah, there's moments.
I don't know.
Right, there's moments when you'll discover that you do always look at your fingers at that moment, because you really are. I have a thing where I get to certain places where I'm doing a little lead bass part in Dyerwulf, and bum bum bum. We got the rhythm going, and here I go, and bum, ba-dum, and I hunch down, I put my face right on it, and I'm still kind of stomping my foot, but I get right in it. It's just me in that little world, in that little bubble with me, my neck, and
Yep.
sometimes and it's funny because sometimes I am still kind of screwing around and I never play the same thing twice the same way, not on purpose. I'm probably trying to, but I kind of play how I feel at that moment.
Right.
I just feel like I'll get into a thing, go, and next thing I know, I'm out, and my drummer's going, he keeps going, but he'll kind of look at me like, he cut that chord, and I go, I thought it sucked, so I quit.
Wow.
Improv and working out, if it's just not working, or I can tell I'm about to drop my pick or something, and I go, never mind, let's get on to the rest of the song. Nobody wants to hear this me babbling.
Oh man, this man, you cannot get more real than Tommy Stewart. It's impossible.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, you're speaking of bass, my friend. Do you happen to have one of your basses?
Oh yes.
Ooh.
Well, this is my main one right here, which is sitting on my pig hog. and I like using pig hog chords. Wait. You got to throw this stuff in because I just got this endorsement, so I have to.
Oh, absolutely.
Go for it.
Absolutely. I know they're badass.
Yeah, they are. I've got, so where the hell is it? Anyway, they color code them. They have, there's one called the Armored Clad. God, where is it? Anyway, it's around, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
This is the best thing for everybody. I love this.
Oh,
This-
what we got?
Cable down. I'm going to use all pig hog on tour. They're thick, so like if anybody rolls on them, steps on them, they're not damaged. So when somebody goes, hey, don't step in my cord, you ain't got to worry about that with pig hog. So anyway, I like a right angle. See? But these things are actually made of steel, bendable steel. They're literally indestructible for normal stage use. So this is what I'm using now.
Very cool.
Okay. I need one of those. What's it called?
I want cable. I'm just used to them. I want them. I like seeing where it is. I don't know. I just don't trust wireless. I guess I'm old school, but this is what I like. And this is all. So anyway, the bass I've been using for 8 years right now is a pig hog, the one where you can't get it out. How did you what? I just got this, so.
Oh, sweet.
Anyway, what I use is a Diamond series. I'm 5-string all the way.
Okay, I got you.
I'm 5-string all the way. This is my main bass. I've used it on all the recordings for the past few years. I've got other basses, but I'm still confounded by this. I'm probably looking like an idiot right now.
No, you're fine. You're good, brother. You're good.
Yeah, I love my Schecter Diamond series.
Heck yeah.
I like it doesn't look crazy metal or anything, but it's what I like about it. What I look for in a bass is I want the strings to be somewhat close together. One reason I started using 5 strings. The strings are just close together. It's not that I use the lower part so much, but the lower string, what it is good for sometimes is instead of, you know what I mean when I'm saying I'm playing in boxes with your finger frets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's like if you only had 3 strings in your bass to play, you'd be going da 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 da. You'd be going up and down. 4 strings, up and down a little bit. 5 strings, you can stay more in one place because your notes are closer between the 5 strings. They're all there. Probably people who don't play don't care and all that, but that's kind of why I go 5-string. It's okay to have the lower notes down them. That's not really why I use it. I use it because the strings are close together.
Oh man, see, we love to hear this stuff.
Yeah,
it's cool. That's cool as crap.
I never even thought of that about the box.
Yeah.
I like that Schecter in particular. I also like what's the other one? Japanese one I like.
Oh,
I don't, but I would like one.
I hear you.
Whatever that is, that's what I'll give you.
I got you. I got you.
What am I thinking? I like the Ibanez too.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Because the strings are close together. The only thing is, I like 24 frets too. That one's perfect for me. 24 frets. I get real up high with some stuff. I go when I run out of that highest note at the highest string on the 24th fret, I can straight up in the harmonics. I start playing above it.
I hear you. I hear you.
Especially the Dyerwulf, because I'm two-piece, so it's just singing, bass, and drums. So everything you're hearing in the tunnel of noise, there's drums and percussion.
Mm-hmm.
The second element's that tunnel of noise, and then there's vocals. So that in that tunnel of noise, it's all bass. So I got to do all the sounds with that. Sometimes I do use a looper.
Okay, I got you.
I use multiple delays so a lot of times I'm harmonizing with myself, and that's one of the tricks of me sounding full doing this. It's because I'm overusing the shine on reverb. And I have multiple reverbs and delays.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I'm playing certain notes, that note's still there, and I'm already doing a melody over it as it fades. And so so I'm playing along with myself a lot and I'm singing while I'm doing it.
Wow.
So it is quite the challenge. That's what's been fun about it. It's quite the challenge to be interesting and be just one guy playing and not be a fuck up.
I hear you. That's cool as crap, man.
It's just you and one other guy. That if you screw up, that's the way it gets played. That's how it's played then, because it's to compare the other instruments to. So it's not a wrong note. That's the right note.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I hear you.
What wrong note?
I hear you.
But what you gotta have is a drummer that doesn't ever stop. That he's never faltering. It doesn't matter. Like to me, for Dyerwulf, it's not a matter of whether he can play complicated stuff. It's a lot of tribal stuff for one thing. The style is a lot of bashing cymbals,
Right.
and a lot of tribal, a lot of tom use. But for the most part, I tell them to whatever you do, don't stop playing. Be steady, 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 steady. I'd rather than be simple and steady and right. Be all over the place and crazy. That's my job.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's my job. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you got to see him play one day. He's like a robot.
Well, I've seen him. I've seen his little shredding, his hand. Oh man, do you get carpal tunnel doing that?
That's funny because we made a video and at the end of the video,
Playing Thrash, I did have issues with carpal tunnel. I had to go to a doctor, and I used to have to get shots to go play and all kind of stuff. Because my hand was. What does it cost to play like that for 20 years? A hand.
Right. Man.
I guess
we were just joking about it. We didn't know it was like really going to.
And I began having to go get shots to go play shows. Not just shows, but sets of shows, because the shot's good for like 4 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny because you drive yourself to go get the shot. All right, you get the shot. Now you can't feel your hand at all at first for like a day or two. And so you're back in the car and it's like, how am I going to drive? You're like pushing the.
Oh, dang.
You're like, let's put it in gear. And you're like, it's like you're pushing a rubber thing against the gear.
Oh,
you can break your hand. Not careful because it doesn't hurt.
That sucks. Yeah. Oh, man.
But now you're having to drive home, with one hand and go, please don't make me go, because I can't.
Because I can't. I hear you.
It's over. I might as well be drinking at that point.
I hear you.
Yeah, I got out the first time I ever got one. That's what I did. I got in the car and went, how am I going to drive? Because my hand's like this. Hey.
Yeah.
But it's amazing because the pain will go away and you can play and everything. But I got so bad at one point that I did have to I had to do therapy. I couldn't pick up a fork. I couldn't hold a phone for more than 60 seconds.
Oh.
I had to learn how to use utensils and everything. I had just simply lost. I was rehearsing about 5 hours a day right then. It had been for a long time, like a couple of years.
Wow.
And my doctor said, you got to stop doing that. You're just going to have to stop.
Oh.
You need to find a different way to, maybe you need to make your practicing be more goal oriented. You're trying to learn a specific thing and only work on these things a certain amount of time, and don't just sit and, noodle for 5 hours.
Right.
Be more about your goals of your rehearsing and what you're doing. And that will probably take away a lot of the time.
Wow. Man, see, that's stuff we don't even know. I mean, wow.
You don't realize you're wearing your hand out and everything. And even now, I do have pain a lot in my thumb areas, especially this hand.
Oh.
And it's from playing all these years. I'm in my 60s. And I've been playing since I was, well, if you include piano, 4. So anyway, a lifetime of playing, and now I do have pains all the time. I think I probably do have some arthritis in there, and I don't know. I've been using balm and, some Tylenol now and then and things like that. And depends on what's going on. CBD and stuff like that.
Well, now tell us about this now. Like I'm preaching to him and my other bandmates all the time. I'm like, dudes, let's use some hearing protection. Have you suffered from any tinnitus?
I tell people you should. I don't have it. I went to an audiologist a couple of years ago. Me and my wife both went because she does have hearing problems. Mm-hmm. I have a studio, so I mean, I know when I'm in there, I know what they're talking about. And her left ear, both ears drop off at about 4 or 5K, but her left ear definitely drops off just before 4K, which is where the range of speaking more or less is. That's why she doesn't hear a lot of stuff people say. She hears a lot of other stuff, but it drops off right where we're talking. Mm-hmm. But you have to be in the same room with her, and best to even be looking at her, really. And we have to have the TV at a certain tone and all that. She doesn't like to have closed caption on. I kind of do. It's not that I can't hear it. I kind of like it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Look, funny, Monsters on it always says RAR. R-A-R-R-W-A.
I hear you.
Actually, on the caption too, it's like reading a book.
I kind of like it. You miss a lot of little things people say when you can't, because they'll whisper or suddenly get quiet or whatever. I tell you what we're going to do. We get this whispering.
I hear you.
But no, I didn't. I went to the audiologist and I'm fine. As a matter of fact, he said that so the range of human hearing starts at 20K. Mine started right at 21K. I mean, and nobody's making me do anything in the studio that low. It's ridiculous. But I could start hearing it then, and I went up to almost 12K. And between 11 and 12K is where I can hear up to, and that's perfectly normal, if not good. I had the hearing of a 24-year-old who had been living in the country. I said, I live in the city. I never wear earplugs. I go to concerts. I go to movies. And I said, I never wear ear protection. And fine, I do a studio, and I'm fine. And I ask other people all the time, how does that sound to you? And I take it, so I check all that stuff. I don't just, but I tell other people, I go, well, let me tell you now. I do kind of stay away. If it's too loud, if it is too loud, I have walked outside and said, that's just too loud.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I can only, sometimes after like 5 minutes, I got to walk away from this guy. I love this band, but I got to walk away.
Right. Oh, there's always that certain limit. Yeah. Like, okay. Yeah. That is a little bit.
2019, I was there with Black Doomba Records. I had all my vending stuff out. I had all the bands there available and all that stuff. Anyway, headlining one of the nights was Conan. I went and stood right in front of John. And stage, and I mean, I was like almost on the stage with him. It was like right there. There's the amp, and he had very little room. It was just mic, him, amp, and I'm standing right there between him and the mic, basically just off the stage, just enough off the stage where I'm not going to bump into him. And he goes, so he started playing. I lasted about 2 songs before I went, just way louder that I can't take it.
Right.
I'm loud. My stuff's loud. I've got 3 stacks. I've got 2,300. 2,300 watts between the 4 amps that I use live on stage, if I'm allowed to. It depends on the venue.
Right.
And if I get them up there, they give me enough time to get it up there, and they let me use it all without crying about it. Yeah, I'm pretty loud on stage too, but not that. I actually carry a decibel meter with me on stage. It's in my effects box. And when we're first setting up and when I got everything plugged in and everything, I'm generally walking about 10 feet from the front of my speaker cabinet. And I walk 1, 2, 3 to my effects. I might be closer. And if I'm closer, the sound's actually shooting past me, but I'm still getting a lot of it. But about 10 feet's where I'm really catching it. So I go about 10 minutes, and right there, I always pull out the decibel meter, and I'll hit one chord and hold it and check it out, and make sure it's going to be about 100 to 108 decibels. I'm good if it hits 100. I'm probably going to get all the tones that I want to get, because in my setup I'm swapping tones and I'm using different amps for different tones, and I'm using switch boxes down below and everything. So that's why it's so many different amps.
Mm-hmm.
One's for clean. That's an orange amp. 3 of them are Galen Kruger. One set differently, another set differently, another set different. But anyway, it's a 12-inch, 212, a 12, a 410, and a 15. And I'm switching between all these things. And I'll have guys, sometimes they'll be trying to shoo me through. It drives me crazy. They'll come there and they'll mic one of them. I'm like, so you want everybody to get the Kmart version of the show? I see.
Right.
Blue light special.
They'll say, "Oh, you got to turn down." I'll turn around and I'll go, "Man, you did hire a metal band, you know. This is a metal show." Wow. And I'm like, "Ugh."
I hear you.
I'll go ahead and play. I'll start turning off amps and go, okay. And sometimes I'll end up down to the one combo I keep on the side, and I go, "Do you really want it to be that low?" Because they're not getting what they came to see.
Right.
I hear you.
Now I understand now. Like when we go play at a place like Masquerade, they want you to be very efficient about getting on and off the stage. So I don't have time to set all that up. I might go on with a combo amp. I've got a 2x12 Galen Kruger 500 watt that I like a lot. So that one, what I try to do is get as close to the entire sound as possible on that one amp. Mm-hmm. So in case that's the one, if I don't have to figure it out. So if I'm up there and they say too much, and I just start turning off amps and go, how about now? That's the one I'm leaving on. And if they say that's too much, I go, that's the one that I'm saying, pack it up, we're gone.
Right. I got you.
Real close once or twice, it's all come real close where I just said, look, we're not a Fleetwood Mac acoustic cover band.
Right. Yep.
This is a metal show, and it's supposed to be loud.
Yep. Amen.
It's supposed to be loud, and at least reasonably loud. And I go, you're cutting us down. One guy, there was one place that said, and I went ahead and played, but I did not like that show, and I decided not to come back and play there again. The sound man, check this out, sound man said, "Hey, look, you got to turn down because the waitresses can't hear and he said waitresses. He said the waitresses can't hear the drink orders. And I went, God, I'm in the wrong place.
Look, you ordered a metal band, right?
Exactly. The metal band.
Metal, yeah, and the waitresses at metal shows, they're not expected to hear people say their orders. You mouth it to them, and you go.
Yeah.
And if you order something, the thing to do if you order something is always say same thing. Say, just hold your bottle up, going another one.
Yep.
They don't expect to hear you.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
How many times have you gone, Jack and Coke?
Wow.
They don't hear it. They get good at it too. My whole thing is just get the first thing the first time and just tell them right then before it gets real loud. Say, I'm going to want the same thing every time. And just make that way I can come over. We don't have to talk. I can just say,
right.
Yep.
Yep.
They know what, maybe if they remember.
Yeah.
That's good. So they remember.
Right.
I hear you.
Anyway, bar etiquette. We need bar tips. really have those hardly. But yeah, so I was happy about this album, this new album that's coming out. It should be in pre-sale then, and you can find. I had 5 different drummers on it because of the pandemic.
Gotcha.
One drummer was doing a little bit of it. We weren't comfortable about what was going on for contact with each other, so he had to bail out after about 3 songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up with check this out. So I ended up with one song ended up being Jared Page from Murder Van.
Okay.
One song is Ray Minor from Dayglow Morning, who Dayglow Morning is on Black Doomer Records.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Dennis Reed is on 3 songs, and he's somebody I've done several albums with. I worked with him on Negative Wall, Bloody Jars, and some other stuff. And so we've worked together a lot. So Eric Vogue, the original drummer for Dyerwulf in 2017 and 18, I actually had some leftover, I almost said footage. I had some leftover drum tracks from him, and I actually just flew them in and filled them in myself. So on this album, to finish the album, it got to where we were really isolated on lockdown at one point, and I couldn't really have anybody over. I'm still recording, so I actually finished 2 of the songs with unfinished drum tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I finished 2 of them myself, and I'm not really a drummer, but I sat down and began learning some drum fundamentals and said, I've got to finish these songs. So I sat down. So there's one song on the album that I'm kind of proud of because it's actually a drum track that I did by myself, and I'd never done that before. I sat down on a set and actually live in the studio did the whole drum track. Now, I didn't have any kind of track to go by, any kind of bass or guitar.
Right.
So I sat down and ran a click track, and I could see the screen. I'm back there on the drum set. I'd hit go and walk way back there, and I'm seeing the screen just go, and I'd sit down. And then I simply played the whole song without any accompaniment and tried to play to the click track. Some of the songs don't have click track. That one I need a click track because I'm not really a drummer. But I sat down, and sure enough, I do have a drum credit on the album. And I'm just so happy about that. It was so much fun that I said, I did it, so I can do it. So I'm gonna keep learning some drum fundamentals right now. I'm gonna keep it simple right now. Maybe learn like the 5 main rock beats or whatever. That's kind of what I'm working on right now. I'll get fancy later, but right now I'm thinking this is kind of fun. I might start doing a lot more of my own drums.
I dig it. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I did some percussion for this album. I was looking for certain sounds. There's one sound, one of this kind of a hollow sound. I even tried to mic me patting on my belly, and it was too much fun. What that hollow sound I was looking for? Get it out of a drum. I was wanting this hollow sound, and I went. Thinking I'll get some gas in me.
Wow.
But you can hear all the tapping. So what I did is I went and got a pumpkin. So on the album, on this one song, there is some pumpkin. There's a pumpkin track. It's like Mongo, but it's a pumpkin.
Wow.
You cannot get more real than Tommy Stewart. I'm telling you.
I recorded some. There was some interesting wood chimes I liked, and there was all kind of stuff. I brought all kind of percussion onto it because I found all kinds. I had a child come in and sing.
I got you.
Some crazy stuff. She came in, and it was actually my granddaughter.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm old enough to be grand. So I've got my granddaughter in here, and I had her sing whatever song she wanted to sing, just for fun. And she sang something that I'm not going to say because that person really is on top of their copyright game.
I got you.
I didn't use their lyrics or anything like that. So what I did is I put her track in there to have her be like she's hollering, like she's in the background going, and it's all indiscernible because what I did is I took the volume and ran the volume up and down exactly. I went in there and found exactly the points wherever she had consonants. So it's mostly all you're hearing her do is yelling vowels. It sounds all kind of like Hawaiian alien or something.
Wow.
I hear you. That's different.
I know what song she's singing, but nobody will ever be able to. It's not a lick of it in there.
I hear you. Man.
So this album was a lot of fun. There was nothing else to do all through 2020. Normally I have other bands. I actually was turning bands down because I didn't want people to come over and give me COVID. So therefore, I spent the whole year finishing the album I'd started a long time ago. And so I got really super creative with it. Being the only person, there's not a band. Nobody could come over. I did get, like, Ray came over, but I didn't. I mostly just by myself, and I just started thinking, what happens if I do this? Or what if I make it like this? Or, what if I stand on my head? And I was just thinking of all kind of crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we definitely would love to come visit you one day when you feel comfortable.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, it'd be fine. Sure.
That'd be awesome.
As soon as I get my shot, I've got people. I hated turning people down. I've turned 3 people down in January for full albums.
Oh,
And that's a lot of income for me that I turned down.
I got you.
I'm one of the people that's high risk.
I got you.
I'm probably going to get COVID, probably not. But if I did, I'm super high risk, and it means if I did get it, I have a huge probability of not making it.
Right. I got you.
The health issues that they list, it's like reading my medical report when I see, if you have this, and I go, wow, yeah, that's me. They just described me all the way down.
Right. I got you. Well, you're a smart man, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't have people over if it's going to be like that. So I spent the whole time having groceries delivered and hands, and just I never went anywhere. I think there was like 3 months at one point I realized I'd been to a store twice in 3 months. My car had left the driveway, I think, twice between October, November, December. I think I figured out that I'd only actually left the house twice.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
I didn't need to. I mean, I get up in the morning, everything I want to do is here. I ship all the stuff for the label from here.
Mm-hmm.
.com. Only the UK. The UK, I have to go to the post office for that because they got the, what do they call it? Starts to be Brixton, that thing. So you have to have a certain number to mail the stuff and all this stuff. And I can't mail their stuff manually myself. I can in Norway or anywhere else, but I just can't in UK. So now I have to go to the post office to mail UK stuff.
I got you.
I don't mind doing it, but it is kind of it's just what it is.
Right.
But I did get new distribution. What made me think of it's based in the UK. But what I did there was a problem for the label, is that to solve was that people who would buy stuff from me that are overseas might not, because of the shipping costs being, it's $15 for a CD plus the $10 for the CD.
Right.
$5 to get it to the UK. It's $24 for the album. So yeah, so what I did is I finally did get some overseas distribution with a really good company, a pretty big one. And now some of the people that are on the label, such as Grave Huffer, Dayglow Morning, Cult of Sorrow, Tommy Stewart, Dyerwulf. We have stuff in they have box stores in other countries. So we're in the Tower Records in Japan and Best Buy, stuff like that.
Oh, nice, dude.
Now, anybody that's seeing this, if you want, you can go. You can order stuff from Plastic Head directly. You don't have to order it from Platinum Records to have it shipped over. Just go to Plastic Head in the UK and order it from them if you're, say, in Ireland or I guess it might be better from Germany to UK than here.
Nice, yeah.
I don't know, but you might want to somebody can look at it or whatever. And plus, we're in the stores now over there. We're in like 15 stores in England. Almost.
So cool.
I know. I'm stoked about all the distribution happening.
Mm-hmm. That's cool as crap.
I got my first inventory sheet to look at on a certain day. I'm supposed to go look at it and see what the orders are. The first one came in, it said zeros all the way down for all my products. I called them up. Well, I contacted them and said, what's going on? It says zeros all the way down. Have y'all not gotten it yet? Or whatever. They said, no, my friend, what's happened is that all of it sold out before it got here, before it got shipped here from New York. It comes on a ship. I ship it to New York. New York ships it to there with a larger load. They said, no, all your products have sold out before they got here.
Dang.
Because I said, I went to the stores and it says a big blank thing. It says, not in stock. And I'm like, well, didn't y'all get it? And said, no. sold out. You have a big PO coming. I'm like, oh, I'm having success. I thought I was.
Wow, well, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's like really cool, man. Heck yeah. Oh man.
Well, I really hate to be the party pooper, but we're hitting to about an hour and a half now, so.
We could keep talking if we could, like straight up.
I'm a talker. You know what though? We're all passionate about what we do.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's what we get talking about.
Yeah.
Because we really like what we're doing. It's what we do all day. It's all you think about. Even at your day job, you're probably thinking, what can I do to my band? Blah, blah. What kind of strings do I need? Just this and that and the other thing. Even at your day job, that's probably what gets you through the day. While your boss is saying, why isn't that truck loaded? Here are you. You're like,
I drive most of my day, so.
You're thinking lyrics, and it's like, what? You're interrupting my lyric thoughts.
Right, exactly.
I hear you.
But yeah, we'd love to check in with you again in the future. And
I mean, dude,
what's the name of this? Where do we find this? I did subscribe to it. What is it?
Oh, the Henry-Kern Show, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely, brother. I really appreciate you, man. And for real, dude, like, you have no idea how much of an honor it is for us.
Very much.
An honor, man.
I'm out there. On Facebook, there's Tommy Stewart's Dyerwulf. There's Black Duma Records. It's on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm Black Duma Records everywhere. There's usually a link tree with everything in it.
Love it.
Awesome.
Love it, man. I mean, seriously, dude, like I said, I mean, I'm a huge 80s thrash guy. You have no idea how much of an honor it is to have you on here. Like, for real, man. Yeah.
I thought everybody'd forget about me by now.
No. No. You're cool as crap.
It makes me feel good. Thanks. Appreciate
I mean,
it.
truly, it's an honor. And you know what? True. And you are, I mean, such a nice dude, too, man. You're so humble. I mean, we really appreciate it.
Wait till you hear this next album that's coming out. You'll go, that's the same guy we were talking to? It's so angry. It's where I go, yeah, that's why my albums are like that. That's how I get it out of here. You know?
Right. Yep.
That's why in the morning, first thing in the morning, I get up and I'm singing Don't Worry, and Bob Marley and Three Little Birds. I'm like such a happy morning person. But then later I'm writing, I go into the deepest, darkest part of me and find like what really is bothering me, and then I write about it. And put it out here. It's catharsis.
I hear it, bro. I hear it.
You meet all these dudes, and most of them are pretty cool dudes in these metal bands that are all real serious on stage. For some, it's an act. For some of them, it's more personal and not as much of an act. And then you meet them, and they're like the nicest. They're gentlemen, they're ladies, they're nice people, and you go, where the hell? They're talking about what they're cooking that night. Just dude.
Yep.
I even get that at work. Like I work with a lot of elderly people, and people ask me like, well, what do you do like outside of work? Oh, I play in a heavy metal band.
Exactly.
And they're like, you?
Yeah.
But you're so nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Don't tell anybody. Oh my God. Okay, we got to go and everything like that. I just saw a movie that this afternoon that you'd probably enjoy. Anyway, you got to go, right? So.
Oh, it's all good. I mean, it's all good.
Well, we're just hitting an hour and a half mark. It's just a long video.
I mean, like we could literally keep going, but I mean,
I saw about caring for people. That was a really good movie this afternoon.
What movie was it?
I think it was called I Care a Lot.
Okay, I got you.
Was that funny?
Lannister time. It's got the dude from Game of Thrones in it.
Okay, I got you.
Lannister, Tywin Lannister. That was his name in Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's got him in it, and he is a bad guy in this one. He was people becoming guardians for people in elderly,
cool,
whatever, and then taking all their money. And and she picks the lady who's running the racket picks the wrong person. Anyway, it's a good movie. It starts out, you start out hate this person. Well, that's what they're doing. They're making you hate this person a lot. About 2 minutes into it, you go, she's, and then she picks one lady who just goes, she says, no, but I'm fine. And she goes, but I have a court order and I now am your legal guardian and whatever. And she goes, do what?
Uh-oh. Yep.
You're the wrong one to get. I shouldn't be talking about it. It's a good movie. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Sweet.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on and talking to us.
Like, for real, man. Tommy, it's an honor, man. Brother, it really is, for real. Yeah.
Right.
Truly, man. And guys out there, check out Hallows Eve. Check out Tommy Stewart's Dyerwulf. Check out the bands on this man's label, Black Doombo Records. Check it out.
Sure, just out. There you go.
Bam, there it is.
There you go. We got some over here. I got the Hallows Eve shirts done from Season of Mist. Go to Season of Mist and you get all the. Everybody's always bugging me for Hallows Eve shirts. Go to Season of Mist, and they've got Tales of Terror, Monument, and Death and Insanity. They've got hoodies. They got hoodies, long sleeve, short sleeve, whatever. They're over there. I don't get a whole lot out of it. I'm just glad that finally people who asked for them, I can point and go, these guys got them and they're legit and they're official and it's not bootleg. Go get it. We okayed everything.
Heck yes, that is the perfect way to end the show, my friend. Thank you, man.
All right, have a good one.
All right, my brother, take it easy, man. Thank you again, my friend. It's truly an honor, brother. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, man.
The Henry-Kern Show would like to thank our friends. Kruse Effects. Slip Check Records. Pick World Guitar Picks. And of course, Nebulous Music Studios in Royston, Georgia.